The patriarch also taught Monkey the art of flying and somersaulting on a cloud. With one somersault, Monkey could cover 60,000 miles. One day in early summer, when all the disciples were talking about the Great Way and immortals, the other disciples asked, Sun Wukong, the other day our teacher taught you how to do transformations to avoid the 3 disasters. Can you show us some? Yes, the monkey replied cockily. First, I'll show you a somersault cloud, and then the 72 transformations. All the others nodded. Monkey said the magic words, jumped head over heels, and was soon out of sight. An instant later, he reappeared with a grin and said, I went 60,000 miles. Then he clenched his fist and said another spell and shook himself and changed into a pine tree. As the disciples were standing under the tree, they couldn't see clearly when it changed into a white crane, a bird that flew over and landed on the ground to greet them. When the disciples saw, they clapped their hands and cheered. They didn't realize that the roar they were making had disturbed the patriarch, who rushed out and asked, Who's making all that noise? All the disciples knelt down and said, We were cheering because Sun Wukong did some transformations just now. We beg you to forgive us for disturbing you, Master. Seeing Sun Wukong couldn't behave himself, the patriarch worried that this would lead to serious trouble, so he sent them all away except for Sun Wukong. You can't stay here for long, or your life will be in danger, he said. Sun Wukong, go back to where you came from. Sun Wukong called out and said, Please forgive me, Master. I have not yet done anything to thank you for your kindness. I can't bring myself to go. Then the patriarch said, What sort of favor would you be doing me by staying? I'll be grateful enough if you keep me out of any trouble you get into. Now that you are going, the patriarch added, I'm sure that you will cause trouble. I forbid you under any circumstances to call yourself my disciple. If you so much as hint as that, I know at once, and I'll skin you. Chop up your bones and make sure you never recover. I'll do what I say, Sun Wukong replied. Then he changed his clothes and said goodbye to his master and the other disciples. Sun Wukong went down the mountain. He missed the home he'd been away for 20 years, his children and grandchildren. So he said the spell and went straight by the somersault cloud, through the clouds to the mountain of flowers and fruit. Within 2 hours, he could see the water curtain cave on the mountain of flowers and fruit. He looked down and saw that everything was in ruins. There was not a single flower or fruit tree in front of the cave. He could see the cranes and the apes crying and howling. Coming round to the front of the cave, Monkey shouted, Children, I'm back! At this, thousands and thousands of monkeys came bounding from caves in the cliffs, from holes in the ground, and down from the trees. They all crowded around Monkey King, weeping. Monkey asked them, What happened? The monkeys replied, 2 years ago, the demon king of confusion came from the cave in the belly of the water. He's taken our water curtain cave, and we've been fighting for our lives with him, but we can't beat him. He's been stealing our things and carrying off many of our young ones. If he hadn't come back, we would all been done for. Sun Wukong was furious. Don't worry, I'm going to catch that demon king. Then he jumped up into the air, and as he somersaulted towards the north, he saw a high and steep mountain. There was a cave facing a cliff, and over the cave was carved the cave in the belly of the water. Several young devils were dancing around in the front of the entrance. They ran away as soon as they saw Monkey. I'm the king of the water curtain cave in the mountain of flowers and fruit, said Sun Wukong. I've come to have it out with that demon king of yours who has been bullying my children and grandchildren.